Okay, well, apparently you guys like talking videos because that one did a lot of views, so kind of a rough weekend and a rough day where played badly and was on an even worse team, so might as well talk a little bit. Today, topic, Chomper setup. What is the best Chomper setup? Chomper has like a varied setup, and I actually, unlike some of the other characters where my loadout is pretty much the same for everybody, my Chompers are different. So, of course, you have to work with the goop ability, which you got the regular goop, super sticky goop, which is like the regular goop, but it actually will hold a guy down and make it so super brains can't jump. Takes longer to regenerate and all that, but it's much more effective goop. And you have the Chomp Cannon, which is just like a massive damage cannon, which does like 100 damage. And of course you have the Burrow and the Sprint Burrow, whereas the Sprint Burrow, you go faster, but not quite as far. And the Spikeweed ability, which Spiky Spikeweed does more damage, but they regenerate slower. You got less you can deploy. Of course, the original Spikeweed, same as the Spiky Spikeweed, just less damaging. The Vamp Weed doesn't actually damage people, but it will draw health into you from the enemy. So, and it, of course, slows down the guys. So, as you can see here, this is my my regular Chomper, and he's got the super sticky goo and the regular Burrow, the Sprint Burrow, and the Spikeweed, because he needs to do some damage, and since his whole game is melee, he's got to get up close to do damage. I pretty much always do the super sticky goo, because that's even though it takes a little longer to regenerate, it will hold down the enemies that can jump and really slow the people down, totally immobilize them, and you can get them. So that's them. So let's look at what some of my other guys got. Like the Hot Rod Chomper here. The Hot Rod, I used to have the Chomp Cannon equipped because he's one of the few guys that can get away with it because he's so fast. But I don't have the same deal here. That. What else? Yeah, here I have my Power Chomper. Is that right? Yeah, Power Chomper. I keep wanting to call him the Electro Chomper. I don't know why. But anyway, him I have set up with the regular one, because he doesn't need to rely as much because he has the electric breath. So it's nice to be able to drop a couple extra Spikeweeds rather than the highly damaging one. So I stick with that. And I like the Sprint Burrow, as you can see. So, or the Burrow, yeah. What do we got? Who else? Look at some of the other, like, more kind of character guys. Like my Armored Chomper here. I gave him, because he's got so many hit points, I gave him the Chomp Cannon, which the Chomp Cannon does like 100 points of damage. It is like a heavily damaging strike, so you can take out an imp like with one shot. Some soldiers, I think, you can get 100 health guys will go down with it. And I treat him kind of like a tank, have him come running in, chomp somebody, on his way out, Chomp Cannon somebody. That's his deal. And there's Chomp Thing. Same deal. I gave him because he has a big old nasty swamp breath, so you can use the Spikeweeds, multiple Spikeweeds instead. What else do I got? Here's the Count Chompula. Ooh, and a new character upgrade. Double damage, speed. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with that. Abilities. Yeah, with him, he's similar to a regular Chomper, so I gave him like the Spiky Spikeweed, which I like. What else? Check out Chomp. Yeti Chomper. Yeah, standard loadout for him, even though he's like got the melee weapon, the only melee Chomper, or not melee, excuse me, ranged weapon, where he can shoot the ice chunks. So, but I have him set up like this. I think I'm going to change that for next time I play with him. I think I'm going to go the cannon, since he's not defenseless. After he shoots his one shot, he's got the ice breath. And who else? My Disco Chomper. I gave him the Vamp Weed for some reason. I don't know. I just felt like using it with somebody. I mean, it works pretty good, so we all could use a little health. And the Twilight Chomper. With the Super Sticky, his ability is the Time Warp, where you can zip across the screen in one shot. Although you can turn that off and burrow with him. I'm not sure why you would want to do that. Although he is kind of swift. He's a quick Chomper, quick foot speed. So, and I gave him the regular. So, because oftentimes I have trouble making the teleport ability work, and I have to spam a bunch of spike weeds to get away from somebody. So that's the different loadouts. Just briefly, like I was saying, the Super Sticky Goo, I don't know why you would stick with the old goop once you have this one, other than it regenerates quicker. Because the Super Sticky is what you need to really hold down the guys that can move, you know. And that's, you know, very, very handy when you're restricted to having to be at melee range with this guy. Similarly, obviously this guy's different. He's got the teleport, but the regular burrow is good. The sprint burrow just, I mean, normally I'm kind of close when I decide to burrow, so I think this one's better because you can move quicker, catch up somebody quick. And these guys are all three, like we were talking about, have their uses, but I also like the way that they're very useful for like a pirate. If you get a Deadbeard come at you, if you drop one of these, this will destroy his barrel. Or if you sneak up on him and he does the bit where he jumps on his cannon to try and avoid being chomped, if you just pop out of the ground, spike weed him, the spike weed will destroy his cannon, and then you can eat him. Similarly with the other guys too, you can catch imps in this, and engineers. Also another deal. Sneak up on them and drop one of these on their turret. It'll destroy the turret, and you can eat them. So playing as a Chomper is kind of tricky. I mean, it requires like stealth, like a guile to it. You know, you can't charge in at guys like a lot of the other characters are kind of built on just running and gunning at people. But with these guys, you got to sneak up on them, because if they see you coming, there's all kinds of things they can do to avoid you and stop you from eating them. So I don't practice as much with Chompers, but I probably should, because once you get good at them, it's an extremely effective part of the team is a couple of good Chomper guys. I know that drives me nuts getting eaten by them. So yeah, that's the Chomper. We'll talk about something else next time.